my Excel file, I mean, granted, if it's right or not, we have to do that formula and whatnot. But anyway, I couldn't figure out the right answer.
Okay, yeah, that one was tough. I was like, what? Okay, but what you gotta do is, hang on, let's see if I can remember how I did it. All right, so first you divide 320 by 750.
Right.
To get your proportion. Hang on,
Okay,
let
I
me
got
just
that.
divide by 720. Okay, so that's your proportion, and then the wait, how did I do this? Hang on. Let's see.
See, because I thought it was, I mean, obviously I was wrong, so tell me, but I thought it was you get the Z value and then you put it in the applet and then it was asking calculate the probability that's fewer than 320. So I did the left of the left side.
Yes, that is correct. What was your Z score?
So my Z score, let's see if I did it. Yeah, 426. So my Z score was negative 1.266.
Negative 1.266. Okay, so my Z score for that one was negative 1.28.
Okay, so what did you put in for the p hat?
For the p hat. Okay. So let's see.
Isn't that what we solved prior when you divide 320 by 720 or 750?
Right. So I don't know if you can see my formula, but you have to subtract 0.426 by or from the 0.45 because this is the 0.45 is the population or whatever, and then the 0.426 is the sample sample parameter. So after you subtract, okay, wait, that's the proportion. Then you subtract those guys, and then you divide that difference by the standard deviation. And the standard deviation in this problem is 0.018. And when you divide that, or when you divide the difference by the standard deviation, you should get negative 1.28.
Okay, so I have all the numbers that you have listed. I have the 0.426667. I have the 0.023. I have the 0.018. But it's just my calculation came out to be negative at the end, negative 1.266, not negative 1.28.
Okay, so I don't know if this is happening with your Excel, but for me, like sometimes my formulas in Excel don't work. So like, for example, this one problem I was like working on and I had my formulas, you know, I like making spreadsheets or whatever, but it just was not working. So instead of using the standard deviation from like that I had input before, like that formula, I had to just go and rewrite the formula, which is kind of a pain, but like the other ones just weren't working. So I wonder if that's what happened to yours.
Well, I mean, it could be. The frustrating part is when I do my formulas, I build it off of the example in the book.
Right.
As far as the problem to make sure that I have it right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just go from there. And in other problems that I used in the homework assignment, I got things right.
Right. Yeah.
So how would you know if it's wrong if you keep getting things right?
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I don't know. Because like I said, I got that one wrong.
Because if it's going to spit out the wrong answer when I have a formula correct based off of their example in the book, I mean, how would I know that?
Yeah, you wouldn't, right? Like,
this is the answer that I would put on an exam, without having a redo. And so if I get it wrong, but yet, because I have all those exact same numbers that you have.
Even the negative 1.2846 or whatever, 446?
No, that's the one I don't. Mine is negative 1.26.
Yeah.
Negative 1.28.
Try just rewriting the formula. See if that works.
Because in mine, I use cells for everything instead of
Yeah.
writing everything in one format and in one thing.
Yeah.
So that I can pick it apart. So I don't know what I would rewrite.
Okay, so
It's just dividing cells.
Let's see. Do you want? Okay, how do I explain this? I don't know. See, just try plugging this formula in. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I
Let
can.
me see. Oh no, won't do that. Trying to make my screen bigger. I don't know, because on that one, I got it wrong too. On number 10, I had to go back and retake the homework quiz because my formula was not working right. Like the standard deviation was off or something like that. And so I wasn't coming out with the correct answer. So that's when I went back and redid it. And that's when I listed all these numbers here. And I was like, okay, let's just break this down, go step by step, and not use cells, just input numbers.
We'll go back to that formula.
This is.
So this formula is just the standard deviation. Whoops, undo that. Sorry.
I promise my face is not red with frustration. I do have a sunburn. This is so bananas, man. Golly.
Okay, so in that formula that you gave me, I get the exact same answer in the formula that I have. The point,
Okay.
which is 0.018165
0.0186.
Yeah, 0.0181659 is the full answer.
Oh, okay, okay. And then what is your difference? Is the difference between the sample parameter? What is that called? Sample proportion. There we go. So it'll be the sample proportion minus the population proportion. And then you divide that difference by your standard deviation.
Right.
And you got that? You got it? And it just is not working.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I don't know.
Because I even have my formula broken up from, I take the value minus the mean and I have that separated. And then I figure out the standard deviation on another line. And then I take the two answers just like they do in the book and then divide them.
That's weird. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Maybe as we work through the group quiz together, like we'll figure it out or something. Hopefully.
If y'all don't mind, can we look at the homework assignment?
Yeah.
Because if this is because if it's an Excel thing, this is going to, I don't even have a chance of getting a question right.
Yeah, it's going to jack you up, man.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, all right.
Maybe if we just keep working with it, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
So what were your questions, Ben?
Yeah, so where I'm stuck. Back up here. So first on number 8.
Okay, and this is on just the homework assignment, not the group quiz. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So that dog's going nuts, man. That's how I felt. That's how I felt during the exam. Like, anyway, so I know I just watch everything else, doing the formula. Okay. So I was able to figure out what P is, 0.528. Okay. Standard deviation. This is where I got stuck. Looking at the answer sheet to help me make sure I'm doing things right. They say the standard deviation is 0.016, but that's not what I'm getting for the standard deviation. And I'm like, what the heck is wrong? So I know it's 0. Oh, hold on a second here. So 1 minus 0.528. Okay. And that's going to be times, that's 0.472 times 0.528. Okay. You get your 0.249216. And then you do the square of that, square root of it, excuse me. And what I'm getting is 0.499. And then that's supposed to be divided by n, which is the sample, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the sample being 1,000.
So do you square root it after you've divided it by n? So it's almost like you have to put the
Is that
like 1 take away the p times the p divided by n, all in parentheses before you do the square root.
Right.
Dogs. Yeah. See, I got no way to draw that whole symbol, and that's what's throwing me off, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my. This is all right. I'll keep working with that. So on that note, then.
Do you use Excel or a calculator?
Say, huh?
Do you use Excel or a calculator?
I don't use the Excel. I don't use Excel to figure this out. I use a calculator, but the problem is I show all my work in the homework document. Like I type it all out, put it all in there, and there's no way to do the whole square root thing over everything, and so it just does it next to the letter, and that's what's throwing me off. Is that I'm not remembering that's the whole thing. I keep looking at it like it's just next to the P.
So I tried using a calculator kind of back in the day, and I've converted over to doing all my math in Excel. Now, granted, I can't necessarily say it's always 100% correct because one of mine is wrong. But it allows you to do some of these formulas more drawn out to where you can just input your numbers and then it spits out all that. I mean, that's just my recommendation because I found that a calculator is kind of more, difficult to use. Whereas Excel has all these functions when they work correctly.
Yeah, honestly, like I would be so lost if I was just using a calculator. I have to use Excel.
So yeah, I've not built anything like that. I mean, I just use a calculator, man. If you've got something like that you're okay to share me, man, I'll totally try it because that might certainly streamline my work, but yeah, like right here, see, I don't know why, but I'm used to spelling out like all my work.
Yeah. See, Ben, look at my
answer's
screen.
4 lines long, you know?
If you look at my screen, and Suzanne, you can look at my screen because you can see my formula or my thing. That's what mine looks like. I'll take a little snapshot of the formula of what I'm doing, and then I put my values in the, in the cells.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
That is really, really pretty. Yeah.
So that's what somewhat keeps me on track. It doesn't mean that I have an outline, perfectly so that when I get a question, I know exactly what to do, but at least it gets me on the right page. And then even like on the, the shape normal, down here, I'll do an if-then statement to tell me if it's yes or no, to make sure that, to tell me if they're both yes or no. So that way that way Excel kind of helps tell me what it is instead of me guessing.
Oh.
But Susanna, this is where it's going wrong right here. See,
yeah.
I'm dividing these two things, which is the same answers that you have, but I'm getting 1.26, not 1.28. But they're the same answers.
That is so weird, man.
What if, Jared, just a hunch here, what if you move that decimal over so it rounds everything up for you? See what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I think we just go to 1.27.
Oh.
All right. Good thought though.
But what about the rest of them? What if you round the rest? What if you move the decimal on the rest of the answers, like round them up to the 3 decimal places?
I
I
thought
don't
we
think
were.
it'll change the answer because everything still rounds on its own per cell.
Poop.
Yeah.
Well, let's go through the group quiz and see if we can figure that out, because that's really weird. It's not working for you. Unless Taylor knows something. I don't know.
No,
Unless you have an idea.
I had a hard time with this week.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Ben, was that your only question on the homework, or do you have another one?
I do have another one. More or less, it's a frustration because I feel like I was working it. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, which one is it? Let's go through it.
Well, it was number 13.
yeah, that one was confusing.
I mean, the way I approached it was, okay, I think what they're asking for is I need to start off finding out my Z-score. Because they were talking about probability, and is it less than 493? Is it greater than 507? So I thought, well, I think what they need here is my Z-score.
Yeah, so I'm actually glad you brought this one up. I had a note to talk about this one because I actually got this one wrong. Susanna, did you get the right answer? Or did you get this one wrong too?
No, I got it wrong. And
so on the Z-score, I got 0.889.
Okay.
Not 0.881. I don't know how they got 0.881.
I think it must be wrong. I don't know.
Well, and that's what I was getting at, because before that, and I kind of said, you know what, computer, forget you, because 11, my answer for 11. I'm sorry, man. That's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't think y'all's answers are right. Not you guys. I'm talking about the curriculum. Because number 11, I'm looking at it going, the p hat is equal to x divided by n. I got 0.507, and they kept trying to say it was 0.5, and I'm like, no, it's 0.507, which if I were to round it up would be 51%. And so I worked that, and the answers I got through here as I was trying to figure out the statements, as you go down, it's like they admit those statements on question 13, and I'm going, what? You got to be kidding me. So, because you see right there, 0.507. Note that p hat equals 2048 divided by 4040 equals 0.507. I'm like, that's what I was telling you in 11. You kept trying to tell me it was 0.5. So you can sense my frustration with this whole thing.
Oh, I don't sense it at all, Ben.
Yeah. Telling you how I really feel here. So that's why I'm like, what the heck is number 13 then? I mean, because I feel like they led me astray starting with number 11. But even though I held my own answer, I'm like, look, I don't care what the answer sheet says. This is my answer. I'm sticking to it. And then I get the 13. And like I said, that note right there is exactly what it is in number 11. Right? No?
I think why they're using 0.5 in number 11 is because they said that the coin was assumed. Let's see, it was a coin that was assumed fair was tossed 4,000 times, right? And so if you flip a coin, your probability that you would think, you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna flip this coin, and 50% of the time it's gonna be heads, 50% of the time it's gonna be tails. And then so that would be your population proportion, right? The 50% is the population proportion.
Okay.
And then for your 0.507, that's the sample proportion.
Right.
Okay?
So now, Susanna, and the key words on that then in number 11 though is to verify the approximate normal distribution. Is that kind of the key word in knowing that it's not the sample proportion? Or no?
Because
well, I think it's asking
the rule.
Yeah, I think it's asking for the population proportion. Because remember, if the population proportion is evenly distributed or normally distributed, the sample population will be normally distributed. So, sorry, what?
Well, I was gonna say, but the rule that we learned today in this lesson, I say today because that's when I started this, but the rule was that the sample proportion p hat will be approximately normal when MP is greater or equal to 10 and N greater or equal to 10. And so that's based on that is how I worked that out. And so,
yeah, and I'm not sure, honestly, because I thought that. Look at my notes again.
So Susanna, what did you get on, and Taylor, you can answer this too. What did you guys get on 13 then as your Z-score?
I didn't finish it because I got too frustrated with it. So
I didn't get number 13. I had to leave, and I was like, I worked on this, and I didn't get it. So for number 13, I was wrong, and I was just like, you know, it's gonna have to be wrong, and I have to move on. So I just moved on to the homework.
Yeah, I know it's deflating, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. I haven't taken the quiz yet because I'm like, I'm just gonna fail it. So I think going over this quiz together though will help.
And honestly, I don't fully understand it. I was going really, really fast when I took notes and when I was doing the homework and stuff because I had to be somewhere. So I don't fully understand it, but I'll do my best to plug in numbers and maybe we can figure it out.
Okay.
So, I think I'm going to send an email to, I mean, maybe we could all do it, I don't know, but I'm going to send an email to our instructor kind of asking on some of these questions, and especially on the Excel thing too, because, I mean, without really understanding how they're getting this, I mean, we're not going to fully understand it. I mean, at least I'm not going to. So I got to get a couple of things clarified on some of these questions to make sure that I'm seeing things straight, and then figure out why my Excel is wrong.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I understood it better. I'm like traveling. I'm actually in Rexburg right now, so I was shadowing, and anyway, it's been kind of a crazy week. What?
For your internship?
No, just for I just decided to shadow for because I'm trying to decide what I'm doing with my life. So I shadowed some property managers.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, you're in Rexburg, right?
I'm in Boise. My brother's in Rexburg though.
Okay.
But
cool. Anyway, sorry guys.
No, don't apologize.
No, man, I wish I could help more, but I don't understand fully yet. But we'll get there. We'll get it. So, kind of what I'm thinking, because I don't really know what we're doing. I don't know. Maybe we should just kind of start on the quiz and see. I'll turn in mine first, and then if we can, adjust our answers from there, if you guys want.
Yeah, let's just
see
how we go.
Okay.
I can do question 3.
Okay.
Letter it.
In a pie chart, why are the slices sectors different sizes? Each slice represents a category, and the area of each slice represents the proportion of the total occupied by the category.
Yep.
All right, I'll read 4.
Sorry.
How are bar charts and Pareto? How do you say that? Pareto? Pareto?
Sure.
Good, man.
How are they related? Charts are constructed. I'm going to say C. They're only difference between a bar chart and a Pareto chart is that the bars are in Pareto chart are ordered largest to smallest.
Yes.
Yes.
I can read 5. Is P the true proportion or the sample proportion? And I put sample proportion.
P hat is the sample proportion.
Oh. See, and that's confusing too, because then in your other formula, you have to times everything by P hat, and then this one is normal P. And
Right, yeah. So, yeah, that is really, really confusing. Okay, I'll read, I can read 6. Sorry, did somebody have a question?
I was just going to say, one of the things I kept telling myself today, and I don't know if it works, but it made sense to me, was we were told that the P is representative of the true proportion, or excuse me, yeah, true proportion, because that's the mean, right? The true mean. And so that's what I kept telling myself was true proportion, true mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of how I thought about it. I just couldn't put it into words. But yeah, I like how you said that. Because kind of like when we were like doing like the sample mean or whatever, the mean of the means, or like the sample mean is the population mean. Is that kind of what you were thinking? Like the population? Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow they're connected.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Wait, did I just read? Wait, I can do 6. Okay. What is N? And N is the sample size. Man, these questions are easy. What the heck?
if they all were like that.
I'll do 7. If P equals 1 divided by 4, what is the smallest N that satisfies the requirement? So 1, 2, 4, 4, 10. So 40.
Could be. Let's see. Because it has to work with both of those.
Yeah.
Would it be 6?
So that's where I use my Excel thing. So I plug in those numbers and then I just basically raise the number until they both say yes.
That's great.
So on my thing it says 40, but that's not to say that it's right.
Okay, so
You might have a winner.
yeah, I want to say it's 40.
I won't try that.
Because if it was 39, then it would go under, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be 40.
On mine, I got 2 yeses on mine, so that's what I go off of.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
What was your formula? Sorry, just out of curiosity, Jared, what was your formula? Did you just use the, what's it called?
So
the equations?
let me share it.
Okay.
Okay, so in here, I just use part of the Z formula, but I have it built in because I mean, that's where I enter my numbers, but down here is where my numbers are. So I put in the 0.25 because 1 divided by 4, and then I put in my number as 40. And then I have the formula in here, and So when you put in 40, you get 10 right on the dot, which is a yes. And then 40 here, obviously you get more, you get 30. So if I were to change this to 39, then that would go below 10 and put a no. So if I change that back to 40, it puts it above.
That's so cool. Jared, that was like the coolest spreadsheet. You're so cool. Okay.
Would you be willing to share that? Because I would love to really get intimate with it this week and just learn that. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send it out to everybody. You guys can pick it apart. And
if you don't mind, I mean, holy snot, whatever I can do to figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that smart of a person, but I do try and figure out in Excel how to make it as easy as possible for me.
I like it.
So I use if-then statements a lot on stuff like that so that it can tell me. I don't have to guess. Okay, I'll do question 8. So from above for the next two questions, suppose n is 24 and p is 0.4. Question 8 is what is the mean of p hat? So that would be 0.4.
Right. Yeah. So the standard deviation.
So standard deviation then. Uh, 0.1.
You're using that spreadsheet to figure out this answer?
Yep.
See, holy cow! I'd still be doing it on a calculator, man. This is I gotta get with the times, apparently.
That's right. Yeah, 0.4.
Yeah, I got 0.1 too. I mean, 0.1 also.
Okay. Because you actually got 0.07, right? It's just rounded up.
I got 0.1.
You got exactly 0.1.
But my formula is probably off. But if we're just rounding to the 10th place, then I think we'll be good with 0.1.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I can read this one. Brittany's batting average is 0.3. We want to determine the probability she will get more than 35 hits in her next 100 at-bats. N equals 100 and P equals 0.3. What is the sample proportion? That's what that is. Okay, sample proportion.
And it's not 0.3?
No, because I originally thought that, but it's not asking for the mean of
the p hat.
Because isn't the mean and of the
p hats can be x divided by n, right?
Yes.
So this would have to be something different. So x would be what, 35, and n is 100. So then that would be
0.35.
0.35.
Yeah. See, I knew that formula.
Woo, go Ben.
I've only repeated it all day long.
So question on that though, real fast. So it's 35 divided by 100, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why isn't it just 35?
Because it's a percentage.
The proportion, yeah.
The probability.
Okay. That makes sense.
No. The next question is, what is the standard deviation of the p hat? Holy smokes. And so what I've just learned today is that's that funky formula that's completely underneath the big square root.
Yep.
So if you've got that trusty spreadsheet, man, I could use your help on this question.
I still write it all out too, Ben.
Do you? Okay, I'm not alone here. All right.
Yeah.
Man, let's see.
What did you get, Jared?
0.046.
Yes.
What is it again?
0.046.
0.046. Okay. Thank you. Z.
And then the Z-score, I got 1.091. Yeah, I'll probably want to show 3 decimals. Yeah. I got 1.091. Now, I'm using the same formulas I did to get that other one wrong. So I'm curious to see if you're going to get this one right or equal to me. Because if you do, then I'm going to be really confused.
That was a statistics question right there. That was a hypothesis.
Hey, maybe instead of the Cliff Bars, we need to do what's the probability of your Excel formula being wrong?
Exactly.
I think we should do that. That would be great. Proportional question. Okay, and you got 1.091?
Yeah, so.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. So how could you get that one right on my form and my formula get it right? But when we do the other
9-1. There you go.
Honestly, I don't know. Like that's just where I'm like, you know what? I don't know, and I'm gonna move on because I don't know. Like, just because there's some of this stuff I don't want to spend time on because I could just spend time elsewhere.
I just want to know when we're gonna learn this in real life.
Yeah.
It's kind of like as a kid when you're in, elementary and you say, when am I ever going to use this math? When am I ever going to use this class? When you always question it.
I just know that I'm 35 and I've not used 99% of this yet. Not to my knowledge. You put the Z-score into the applet now, right?
Yeah. Doing it. We got this.
So what is it?
Oh, I just forgot to round. So I got 0.138.
Okay, hold on 1 second before you move on. .138. Can I look at your applet?
Yeah.
Okay, so why did you do to the right?
Because it's what was the question? What is the probability Brittany gets at least? Oh, wait, I guess it's supposed to be to the left, huh?
To the left, to the left.
The left. Is that what you did?
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's what I did, but.
Yeah. I just read it wrong. I was thinking that it was going to be more. Or like what's the probability that she gets greater than 35 bats is what I was thinking it was. I just didn't read it carefully.
Okay, perfect.
So you got 0.862?
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. Saving my grade, Jared.
Let's not bank on that until you hit submit and get 100%.
All right. All right. If the true proportion of people who support a political candidate is P equals 0.52 and N equals 2,000 people are surveyed, we want to determine the probability that the results of the survey will suggest the candidate is losing the election or getting less than 50% of the votes. All right. What is the standard deviation of P hat?
minus 0.52 times 0.52 equals that divided by 2,000.
All right, I got 0.011.
Yep.
That's what I got.
Yes.
0.011.
And did you just do it on my calculator?
I sure did.
Holy cow, you are so lightning fast. What the
I
heck?
had to write it down.
Dude, that's
I wrote it
amazing.
down and then I did it on the calculator.
Dang.
Dude,
And I
that's
remembered that big old crazy. I refer to it. What's that medical equipment that they use where they measure your heartbeat? That's what that thing reminds me of.
dude, I think you should get a bonus of like 80 points on every assignment for doing a calculator.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I think so.
They have an
That's
Excel
awesome.
thing for everything else. Why don't they have an Excel one for this one?
Right.
You know.
Right. I know. This is why it took me 3 hours to get through like the first 25 questions of the exam. Yeah.
Yeah. It took
And
me
then-
the full time allotted, and I thought, like, I studied everything. I went over it again. I looked over all the homework quizzes and everything, and then I got to going on the exam, and I was like, I might as well have been blind and deaf during the whole semester.
Yes.
Because,
Yes. Exactly.
That's hilarious.
0.0.
Yeah.
Okay, so on 15, I got negative 1.790.
That's what I got.
You got yes. What?
See, so we're getting the same answers on this. So when we're done with this, can we go back to the homework one and like
Yeah.
re-input the stuff and see if we still get the same or wrong?
Yeah.
Because this is frustrating.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay.
So don't we put that in the applet?
Yeah. So then the probability of him losing would be the negative 1.79.
So 0.037.
Yeah. Okay, I'll submit first. Hey guys, we only missed one.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
13.
Gets at least 35 hits for the next 100 minutes.
So would it be the middle and the right that we have to highlight?
Well, no, because it's saying at least. So it's not surpassing it, right? So it's 35 or less. Not 35 or greater, right?
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, maybe it is greater.
35 and greater.
It is 35 and greater.
It is greater?
to be the middle and the right.
I think so.
So isn't the middle and the right the same as the middle and the left?
I think it's just, no, I just think it's the right. I don't think it's the middle. Because if she gets at least, then she could get 35, 36, 37, 38, but not 34, 33, 32. So I think it's just to the right. That's probably why I did that at first.
So I'm the one that screwed you up.
Oh, no, it's all good.
0.138.
Score point 0.
So the at least part kind of throws you off then.
Yeah.
0.138. Yeah.
So 1.091.
Point. So it'll just be over here. So yeah, then you said 1.38. Yeah, that's what I put at first. Okay.
So 0.138.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh no, it's fine.
Moment of truth.
Or is you turning in again?
I'm gonna submit it.
Oh, okay.
Save your second one. Save your second one.
Yay.
Save your second one. Yeah, it's 100%.
Yes. Okay, we got this, you guys. We can do this. See, it wasn't that bad. That was easy and fun.
Oh, sure.
I don't like your
just-
definition of fun.
Okay.
So for the final project, are we gonna go and buy a bunch of Cliff Bars, or
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I'm even down with to stand like a creeper in the aisle and bring a scale and
Hey, that's
stand
cool.
there and measure as many Cliff Bars as we need to.
You know what? That's a good idea.
Because
That is awesome.
Because then we wouldn't have to like buy them. Because that's gonna be expensive. Unless we like go to Costco and get like a whole big shebang of it,
a box.
like a
of
whole
them.
big box. Yeah.
I have a bunch of Lara bars. I have like
Oh,
50 of them because they were on sale for 75 cents for 10.
Whoa.
I
No
went
way.
and bought a bunch. Yeah.
We could do Lara bars if you wanted.
Oh no. Whichever.
Oh, and like with Santiago and Levi, like they don't really like. Should we count them as part of our group? I don't know. I guess I just don't feel like they're really part of our group.
That's tricky. Well, I
Maybe
know
they
Santiago's work schedule changed.
Yeah, but I understand that, but at the same time, he wasn't really like participating in the first place. So I don't